Well, it seems that Andrew Cuomo is right. He seems to be usually right lately. The stock market maintains a plus of about 150. We'll go to a words from our sponsor and come back with the rest of the news. Something is sneaking up on us on the calendar. Be aware of it. A week from today in London, the group of G20 leaders will be convening. This will be a mega event. The President of the United States will be there. Mr. Putin will be there. Obviously, the Prime Minister of England will be there. It will be a significant, substantial financial event. It's going to be by far and away the most important economic conference in the past several years. And the attention of the world will be shifting to London very quickly. Last night, the attention of the United States, at least, was focused on the East Room of the White House. President Barack Obama held a primetime news conference. Probably 70% of the questions were aimed at his budget and on the national economy. The President, by all accounts, acquitted himself adequately. It was not a super performance. He basically insisted that we must hold the course, the budget must be passed, and we must be ready for a long road. However, he was very clear that he thinks signs of hope are already beginning to be seen. On Friday, the President is going to meet with about a dozen of the U.S. top banking leaders in an unusual gathering designed to discuss his plans to shore up the financial sector. Coming to the meeting are the CEOs of Goldman Sachs, Morgan Stanley, J.P. Morgan Chase, and Citigroup. Several bank executives have openly criticized the White House's handling of the financial crisis, especially its public announcements of stress tests designed to measure banks' financial health. Those executives think that stress test may have led to a sharp sell-off in their stock. Also, in England yesterday, the Prime Minister Brown, met with executives from 13 global banks as part of the preparation for the April 2nd summit. A spokesman for Mr. Brown said that the people attending the meeting came from the Banco Santander, Barclays, Deutsche Bank, Goldman Sachs, Mitsubishi, and UFJ Financial Group. So things are perking along a little bit. One place where things are not so hot perking along is Japan. Japanese exports plunged nearly 50% last month. The biggest decline on record. Exports tumbled 49.4%, the sharpest decline since the Ministry of Finance began compiling trade figures in 1980. Japanese car makers have been among the hardest hit by the global downturn. Shipment of cars plunged 64%, with those shipments to the U.S. dipping 71%. Demand slumped in all regions of the world for cars and other Japanese exports. Exports to EU countries dropped 55%, while Japanese exports to other Asian countries were 46% lower than they were a year ago. Economists say that they have never seen Japanese company move with such speed to respond to the slowdown by reducing shifts, suspending factory lines, and cutting thousands of jobs. The International Monetary Fund expects the Japanese economy to shrink by 5.8% this year. And a little bit to the west, in China, that country that likes to pretend to act like a capitalistic country and a democracy, another reminder of just what we're dealing with there. The video sharing website YouTube said that it's working to restore access for its users in China after the government blocked its service. Users in China were unable to access the site and have been unable to access the site since Monday, apparently following the posting of a video alleged to show Chinese police beating Tibetan protesters. A spokesman for YouTube said, confirming that the service had been blocked, but there had been no explanation from the Chinese authorities. According to YouTube, we do not yet know the reason for the blockage, and we're working as quickly as possible to restore access to our users in China. The blockage came as government officials in China labeled as a fake a video posted on YouTube allegedly showing police beating a Tibetan demonstrator to death. The Xinhua news agency said that the video came from sources tied to the Dalai Lama, the exiled Tibetan spiritual leader. Right. In Nigeria, at least 5 people have died after a 4-story building collapse in central Lagos. At least 14 more were pulled from the building in a heavily populated residential area in the Idi Araba neighborhood. The area is very near the Lagos University Teaching Hospital. It was a 4-story building. Apparently it comprised a whole city block. It was fully residential. The cause of the collapse is not yet known. We've been reporting off and on a little bit about Mount Redoubt up in Alaska, the 10,200-foot volcano.